Hello, hello, everyone. I will, just for some housekeeping, I'll say this again. Um, we are recording this, so if you want to remain a little anonymous, you can change your name to just be your first name or something like that. We do want to post these for people who can't attend. So just, keep your camera off if you want to be anonymous and modify your name to be neutral if you're concerned. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We're going to get started in a minute, but I will just say one more time for those who have been just joining, we're going to record this and we will probably post it for people who can't attend the live sessions this week. So if you would like to keep your camera off, please by all means keep your camera off. If you would like to change your name to something more neutral or your initials, that's fine with me too. Okay. Let's get started. I hope everybody is able to see my screens or my slides, and we'll get going. Thank you so much for coming today. We are very excited to have you attend and let everybody know about our new endeavor. I am Victoria Weinert. I have about 25 plus years of experience in the field, anywhere from coding and supervising and consulting and DRG validation and vendor world, you name it, I've been in the space and I've loved every minute of it. So I am very passionate about our field, very happy to be in this sandbox with all of you and playing with all of you in the sandbox. But I'd like to tell you about our company that is new and innovative and something we all need and we all want to hear. I want you to hear about. So I started at a education company years ago when we went into ICD-10 implementation, and I realized after I-10 went live, there wasn't really a space for it. So I kind of let it go, but I've rebranded the company into Ascent Education to be a a supermarket of CEUs, if you will. And I don't want it to all be me. I want the education to be a shared collaborative experience. So, um, with with that being said, let's move on. We have developed a website that is 24-hour, all things CEUs by health information professionals for health information professionals. And we are looking to you to collaborate with us to share your knowledge where you can earn income from that knowledge and your experience in this field. It is ready to launch by April 1st, 2025. That's when the store opens, if you will. So, what is the need we're going to fill? Everyone in our community has credentials and needs CEUs. Everyone that needs these CEUs has to get them from somewhere. We want to encourage them to get them from each other. And that being said, the market we're talking about is a group of people from Actis, 6,500 members last counted, AHIMA, 67,000 members last counted, AAPC, 250,000 members last counted. So, that being said, we want to be the source for them to come get their CEUs. And where those funds go back to is you, not another corporation. So, we are looking for subject matter experts. You have to have some significant time in the trenches, or perhaps you've spent the time in the trenches and you've come up with a solution. What have you found to work? What new innovative technology have you leveraged to find the solution? What knowledge can you share that others will want to hear about and be able to satisfy their need for CEUs? You have to be energetic and enthusiastic. We are not looking for somebody to read a script. We're not looking for somebody who is going to sound like the teacher from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay. This has to be fun and exciting and interesting. And that means we're looking for people who know the subject backwards, forwards, up and down, and get so excited when they talk about it, they can't wait to get to the end of the sentence. So if there's something I could tell you, tell me about your favorite restaurant, and you could just recite items off the menu. You can say, I love this and this and this, and I know the dessert here is going to be the best. Why? Because it's coming right from yourself. That's the way you should be able to talk about the topic you're speaking on. And we want it to come not from reading words, but from somebody who knows the topic really well. That's what we're looking for. Now, you're not alone in this. We have come up with a recipe for success. So we have a document here that we will send out to people who are still interested, who need to know what are those foundations we have to teach on? What are those clinical foundations, the domains that satisfy the AHIMA requirements for credentials? How do you create slides that satisfy the participating bodies to approve the CEU? What is the format? That's like, how long do I have to talk? That's all spelled out in this document. So I won't get into it today, but we will help you along the way. We'll help you create those dynamic slides that are attention getting and keep the learner engaged. We are looking to share examples of what are acceptable topics in the domains. Keep in mind, though, there is another topic of other. Other can be health, wellness, inspiration. That's all included in this as well. So keep your mind open to ideas that you would want to share in your forums. Now, what is Ascent in this matter then? Ascent model, okay, is going to be selling knowledge where you get the income. That's why I refer to passive income. You do the work once, you set the recording, we post it, we make it available for sale, for viewing, and you just get income at the end of the month. So it is the 24-hour making money while you sleep model, and it is one-time work and you post and you're done. Now you can have more than one, of course. But here's the difference. It's not just our website. The website, when you first come into it, will be by topic, domain, forums, and people can go look for the topic. But let's say you have a great, innovative presentation. You're going to have your own page by which you direct people to get your webinar. So if you create one and people go, oh, that's real, that Vicky, she's a really good speaker. I like the way she explained that. What else does Vicky have? Then you can send people to your page, your store, if you will, for more webinars, and they'll come back to you, and you are 100% getting the credit for your work. It is not a cent, it is you as the presenter. So that being said, for every view, we are going to sell these CEUs with a 50-50 profit share. Well, how much do these webinars cost? The cost of the webinars or the program is $50 per CEU. Now, that is something that's important to me. It's important to me because the world we live in is just getting more and more expensive, and we have to fill these credentials. So I'll give you an example. I have 3 credentials I have to maintain CEUs for 40 per year. Now, granted, I get some tokens for some with the crediting body, but I've got to pay to get these CEUs. I can't always afford to travel. My job doesn't reimburse me for everything I do in my learning. I have to pay for it. So do all of you. And that is important to me to make it affordable. At affordability at $50 per webinar or per session of 1 hour, that will give you a 50-50 split. $25 goes in your hand. $25 goes to the web hosting. Now, that being said, we do have to pay to get those CEUs approved. So that comes off the top, and then and keep in mind we're sharing that with you. You don't have to pay for that out of pocket. We front the cost, and it comes out of the first couple of sales of the webinar, and that's paid back. And then it's 100% 50-50 full transparency. You'll get reporting. All presenters will have full reports about what's going on their page and how the sales of the webinar is doing. Now, even at $50 per CEU, where you're getting 25 and I'm getting 25, what does that look like? Now, you remember those numbers we had about how many members are in AAPC, all need credentials. And I'm one of the AHIMA, that's 67,000 number, and I need 40 a year. And then we've got Actis at 6,700 or so. Think about the sales your webinar could produce. Your knowledge is getting shared and you're earning a passive income from it. So if you sold 100, now is that doable? Yeah, easily. 100 webinars gets your webinar gets purchased 100 times, you will make about $2,000. If your webinar was sold 1,000 times, we're looking at your share being about $25,000. If it sold 5,000 times, $125,000 is your share. If it sold 10,000, now you're like, Vicky, you're dreaming here. Is 10,000 unrealistic when we have hundreds of thousands of people that need CEUs? And I need multiple. It's not like that member needs one. That member needs multiple CEUs. So is that 10,000 number realistic? It is not. I mean, unrealistic. It is not. It is very, very realistic when your topic is hot, it's timely, and people want to hear your version of the story. So think about this growth that you could potentially have with your webinars. So think about a topic that you're like, I think I can do this. Like what you put no money out, you invest some time into your presentation, your creation, you post one, and let's see how it goes. You could do that. If you start to go, this is what one webinar gets me, I have another topic people might be interested in. Let's try for 2. So it's really, we won't stop you. It's like your business. You are going to have your business to sell as much as you want. And I know there's educators out there who do this all the time. And maybe you've done presentations for him at the conferences or your state conferences. Wonderful. Think about another hot topic that you would like to get income from. See, when you do those presentations, you don't see revenue for it. We want you to get that revenue for your knowledge. Does that make sense? Everybody with me so far? Okay. So you will market your content. We, as Ascent, are going to hit the road. We'll be at all the state conferences. You'll see our booth. We're going to tell everybody about your ability to get CEUs from our store. We want to be the Costco of CEUs, if you will. High quality, volume of great content. We're going to get the message out there. We're going to be, I'll be doing podcasts and I'll be presenting the company as it's a great page. You can sell your webinar to your network. So your network on LinkedIn, you can create a social media page on Instagram, hashtag coding. It's out there. It's already there. I've seen it. We'll be marketing with you. We have a marketing department that is going to assist you with great taglines, great teasers, and we'll help you. We'll be pushing each other's information to help direct people to your page. So have no fear. Don't be afraid of thinking nobody knows me. We'll grow your network by easily connecting with more people on LinkedIn. I can't tell you how most of you are responding to that one post I did. I can't tell you how many people kindly reposted for me or shared it to a friend. That's the way our community is. We are a network of peers and colleagues that help each other. If your content is something like, oh, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you hear about that? I saw this great webinar. You've got to see it. People will promote for you, but you'll want to get your network knowing that you've got this great page out there where they can get your webinars. Now, we'll be helping you. You'll want to promote regularly, not every day. We don't need you to post something every day. However, I did see a statistic that if you were to post one post a week to yourself or your page, they say you're likely to grow even 4 times greater than that. So your network will grow at an exponential rate of 4 times. So you can promote yourself. We will not stop you. We'll help you. But we'll be promoting the page where people can find your stuff, but you can point people to your page. And your profile page will have your picture and your titles and your bio and all the content that you've posted on the page. You don't have to pay for this. We're going to work with you and collaborate with you to get this going off the ground. So have no fear about that. The last thing I will say before I open this up to questions is many people are asking me about conflicts of interest. Okay. What are we not looking for? Ascent is not looking for something that belongs to someone else. Okay. So let's say you're in an educator role for your facility and your job is to teach. Okay. And you've created webinars for other projects and so on. That belongs to the employer you work for. That is proprietary information. You can't take that and go, here, put this up on your page. Okay. That's not how it works. That belongs to them. I'm not about to hit the courtrooms trying to fight for profit shares and all that and saying it belongs to someone else. So if you are in an educator role, check if you're under a non-compete and I don't know. There is going to be possible conflicts of interest. You need to do your due diligence before you come to us, or you create something completely new outside of your 9 to 5. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Regs are regs, rules are rules, codes are codes, topics are topic. You may need to change it up, and that's fine, but you cannot just take from your work you've already done for an employer and go, here, I want to sell it now. It doesn't quite work like that. Okay. So that's my biggest concern, that you are coming up with some fresh, innovative ideas, but I'll open it up to you now. Do you have any questions for me? I'll be here as long as I can answer any more questions for you.
Hello. Is the expectation then that people will be getting stuff ready in preparation for April. So you said it's going to go live in April. So we should do content prior to April then.
Excellent question. Yes, because I need a couple of weeks to get that prior approval from AHEMA. So if you have a topic that you're like, oh, I got this, I got an idea right now. As you're talking, Vic, I just got to come up with something. Sit down, hash out the outline, hash out your objectives, hash out your content, get your references ready, and then you'll want to contact me and say, let's sign a contract. The contract, by the way, that we would have to sign before we can record anything is going to say that for the year, when we approve a CEU, it's good for 12 months. And then that party says that expires, that CEU expires, and you have to apply for it again, and that's fine. But we want to say that for the term of that CEU approval, that content stays with Ascent so that you're not trying to do business on the side. But that's the contract we would go and engage with. It's not, we don't take it from you. It's just saying, hey, we're doing business together for a year for the terms of that CEU as long as it's approved for. And we would want to have content all done so that I have at least 2 weeks to get that CEU approved by AHEMA. Yeah. And April 1st is when we start selling. So if you need a little bit more time, that's fine too. We want to get some content ready and we can sell directly from somebody's profile page to start it. But if you're like, I need a little bit more time, I talked to a great lady the other day. She's like, I want to do this. I just don't know how much time I have because I'm sitting to study for, I forget which exam she was taking. So I said, I understand. If you want to focus your energy on one thing and then move on, that's fine too. So April 1st is when we start selling. But after that, we're still going to be continuing to grow this page. Like I said, we're talking about being in the Costco of CEU availability. So we want you to have something in the next 4 weeks, but if not, it's okay. We'll be growing this page continuously afterward. It's not like it's a deadline of get to us before so we're done. Does that help answer your question?
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay. Lisa, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, good morning. Thank you so
Hi.
much for your presentation. So I have a question regarding
Sure.
presentations and logistics.
Sure.
So are you looking for on-camera presentations, audio only? Are you looking for presentations that have interactives embedded into them? What's your vision for how these presentations would look?
Excellent question. The sky's the limit as far as creativity goes, but the page will host a link to the recording. Now that recording can be, I've already talked with people who are like, I don't want to have my camera on. I don't have a problem with that. If you want your because I know when I speak, I'm like my hands are flying and my eyes are rolling back in my head, and I need that to make a point. So I keep my camera on, but you don't have to. If there are people who are a little more nervous, we can record the audio of you talking over the slide, then that's perfectly fine too.
Okay, and I have a second question. Thank you for the answer
Sure,
for the first question. From a
sure.
branding perspective, all of the
Hmm.
recordings will basically be the Ascent
Right,
branding, and it'll just
right.
be our face, voice, content, etc.
That's correct. It is yours. However, I don't want it to look like a flea market. So we don't want like let's say you have a company and you want to promote your company. I have no problem with that, but the content should be on on one of the domains you're speaking to. And if at the end you say, if you're looking for a solution to that, contact me at my company, that's fine. But as far as people logging into multiple webinars, I want that to have a clean look. So Ascent will be that backdrop to everybody's presentation, but that doesn't mean you can't sell your product within that. I have that's fine. But just for clean continuity, I do want the Ascent brand on that slide. Just like you see the little logo in Ascent Education at the bottom, we want to have that continuity across all the speakers so that people do understand the brand and what it is so they know where to keep coming back to find more of your content.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I have one more question, just in case
Sure.
somebody else has a question. I'll fall back. But my next question
Mm-mm.
is, from a market research perspective, what research have you all done to ascertain the sustainability of this product? Because $50 a CEU. You have AHEMA, you have AAPC that's offering CEUs, but you also have the 50 states that are offering CEUs. So from a price perspective, um, what did your research find?
That everybody is averaging about $50 per CEU. So we're not looking to take over, well, we're not looking to take away from somebody else's content. The states and the national organizations need to have their revenue too. We're looking for a part of it with quality education. I don't know if you've ever, and I'm hesitant to say this in the kindest way possible. I get tokens for CEUs for webinars through HEMA when I renew every year, for example. That webinar content is about, how do I say this kindly? About as interesting as watching paint dry. We're looking to provide a better quality CEU. So yes, we'll be partnering with the state associations to help provide those the revenue for them. Um, but ultimately, we want to be a great source for people to have CEUs, quality CEUs. Now, keep in mind, AHIMA is looking to institute a 40% rule where that you have to go back to them to get 40% of your CEUs. That still leaves 60% for private sector to, and all of you, to earn from each other. And I want to promote a health information professional to health information professional marketplace. Where are your CEU dollars going? Basically, our platform is to say, let's give it to each other.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I can see the differentiating factor. So,
Hmm. Yeah. I don't mean to insult somebody else's content, but not everybody's meant to be a dynamic speaker, and we're looking for that dynamic speaker quality. So if you if you've spoken before, you can't. We're not looking for the person to stand behind the podium and just read into a microphone. That's not what we're doing. We want to be high quality where people, well, I want people to say, I heard this great webinar, and the end of that sentence is at Ascent Education.
yeah, so what you're offering is more than just a CEU. You want them to have an experience as a result of the webinar.
And understand that we are supporting each other in that endeavor. See, I wanted to be the educator, of all educators, and I realized I need to stay in my lane. I know coding. I am the DRG inpatient coding guru. But I don't know. I can't speak to you on data privacy. I can't speak to you on these other things. So why not bring together the best of the best minds out there to say, hey, this is coming down the pike. And I go, oh, really? Tell me about it. And I'm sitting and listening to the webinar going, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, and that's how you solve that problem. That's what I want people to go, that was great. That was great. I really learned something new from that webinar, that time I spent in front of the computer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? I see it. Go ahead, Lakeisha, please just unmute your mic. Lakeisha, you want to unmute yourself? Do you want to type in the chat? Whatever you need.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Technology,
Okay,
you
all
gotta
right.
love it.
Yeah. Actually, Dr. Lee asked some of the questions, the same questions that I had, but I have one other question. Is there like a
Sure.
time limit for the presentation?
Excellent question. It's actually conforming to AHIMA's requirements for what
Okay.
equals one CEU. It has to be 60 minutes of content to get to that number to fulfill their satisfying need. But that doesn't mean you need to talk for 60 minutes straight. What you will find in our recipe for success is like a little time model of the introduction is about 3 to 4 minutes, and I'll record with you if you want me to be your host, and I'll say this is so and so. Here's her topic. Here's her bio or his bio, excuse me. And this is the topic they're going to speak to today. Go. So we'll get a little introductory. That's time that gets eaten up. Ascent will use a little question at the end of every objective that will go up on the screen. I will read the question and say, you need to record your answer because the survey at the end, which we need to satisfy the CEU, you have to put your answer to this question here. We're going to leave that up on the screen for 1 minute. Now, that being said, if you have 5 or 6 objectives, there goes 5 or 6 minutes. We want to put that up on the screen. Here's the question. Here's the answer options. You need to pick the answer to go to the survey at the end. Record your answers. So there's another group of time. And then we're going to have a Q&A at the end. When you're like, Vicki, how are you going to do a Q&A? These are pre-recorded. You can pad those questions. We can also record live. We can set up a day and time where we invite everybody to your recording. If you want an audience, you got it. We'll blast out and market a webinar that people can come to attend, purchase the webinar and attend, and you'll have an audience with live questions. If you're feeling a little nervous, you're not ready for that, you're like, let me try recording first. We'll come up with questions either when I look over the information. I go, oh, what about this? And I'll pose the question to you. We'll add that to the end, and you'll answer that question. And I'll say, we have a question from so and so, or we have a question in the chat box here. And then you go, all right, good question. Here's the answer. Just like we're doing now, we can pad questions that you may have heard into the end. So there's another 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes of content. So you're really only talking about filling 45 to 50 minutes of content. So we'll be satisfying the requirements for that time minimum for the CEU, but also with the model we want to work with. If you've never done these before, we'll help you along in getting your to relax and feel comfortable about filling an hour's worth of content.
Okay. Thank you.
Make sense? Sure. Let's just buy a show of chat. Let's open up the chat box. Can I get how many years of experience do you have in the HIM field or on a topic you want to present on? If you wouldn't mind putting in the chat, how many years? 33. Good night. 19. See, you guys are the ones I want to hear from. I don't want to hear from somebody just out of school, or you're the kind of presenters I want to know what you know, especially if I'm coming up in the newbie in the field. Do you see where I'm getting with this? You've got years of knowledge. And I just keep telling everybody, I was one of those people that I lay in bed at night and I scroll through my Instagram and I see these social media influencers selling a lipstick shade. And they're like, click my link for my discount code. And you're like, these brats are making money hand over fist, and they didn't make the product. They didn't even make the product. They're just promoting it. We want to promote your knowledge. That's what we're doing here.
So would you be also looking for brand ambassadors for the product?
We are going to be exploring based on sales and success of a person's page to absolutely work together in getting this out there to others and finding like-minded persons in the field. Well, great, Bonnie. You've probably got stories from the trenches, billing and coding. And see, we need both AAPC and AHEMA professionals. This is not an AHEMA product. This is HIM. This is all things HIM. So if we want to have a AAPC market as well, so we need your expertise. Like I said, I stay in my lane. CPT and I got divorced many years ago, and we're amicably divorced. I don't play in that sandbox anymore. So I need other people to bring it to the fore. Any other questions? I hope everybody's already sitting home going, oh, this is the newest and the latest and the topic on this, and I need to get everybody out there. We just had, Bonnie, I'm sure you just know that the new updates for the 2025 year came out. Everybody's a buzz about that. You could do applying the newest changes to the AP CPT billing updates. So I hope everybody's excited as I am, because I think we have a great product here that we cannot wait. We cannot wait to bring to everybody on April 1st. And we want you to be part of it. I won't keep you any longer. It's 10:30. I was hoping to keep it to about 30 minutes. Any other questions? Feel free to reach out to me at my email address below. If you're like, Vicky, I got an idea for a webinar. What do you think of this? Let's talk. And if you're ready to start creating content, we want to get you a contract so that we can share slide, forums and so on with you. All right, everybody. That's it from me. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.
That was good.
It was?
That was really good.
I can do better.